Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Smart Kids of TV with me, Mary Adole. And in this tutorial, let's talk about how to get over 1000 views on your Facebook stories. Now, let's start with talking about what a Facebook story is. Now, a Facebook story is what you see when you log onto your Facebook and you see all these scrolling pictures. You're seeing people's pictures and videos and all that. So that is what a Facebook story is. So people use Facebook stories to share stories about themselves, their businesses, and what have you, more like what you have as a WhatsApp status, right? So people share different things on Facebook stories, and when you come on Facebook, there are a lot of stories, and you just want to view. So I think that the Facebook story actually has more visibility. Like, it gives people more visibility than the Facebook feed. All right, so and that is why you want to capitalize on it to grow your visibility and also to grow your brand, right? So a lot of people who don't usually have a lot of engagement on their normal Facebook feed usually get a lot more engagement on their feeds, on their stories, right? So I think it's just how the algorithm is, right? So you want to capitalize, you want to take advantage of this, grow your brand, grow visibility for your products and your services and all that. You and I know that on Facebook, the organic reach is very low. What do I mean by this? There are some contents that you post on Facebook that Facebook restricts and limits the reach, all right? So you're not going to be getting a lot of visibility for those kind of content, especially content that has to do with selling. Like when you're selling something on your Facebook feed, or when you mention some sort of keywords, Facebook tends to limit your reach. So but then it doesn't happen like that on stories, all right? There are sometimes that some people who are your friends on Facebook, you'll be wondering, these persons don't post anymore, like I don't get to see their content anymore, whereas they actually post, but then you don't see it because the algorithm limits their reach. It's also with you, it's also the same with you. When you post some content and you feel that, okay, this person is not engaging on my content, it might actually be that those people are not actually seeing that content, and that is because the Facebook algorithm restricts a lot of content that has some keywords in them, all right? And but then it doesn't happen like that on Facebook stories. So that is why you want to take advantage of the Facebook stories to grow visibility for your brand. And today we're going to be talking about how you can get massive visibility for your brand or for your business using the Facebook stories. I've been using it for a while now, and it has brought me quite a lot of clients and people who subscribe to my Facebook and Instagram and advertising services generally, people who subscribe to my YouTube channel, people who do business with me just from my Facebook story. All right, so in today's tutorial we're going to be talking about the strategies you can actually employ to get a lot of views on your Facebook stories. All right, so if you're just stumbling on this channel for the first time through this video, this is Smart Kids of TV, where we talk about tips and strategies for helping you make money in the online space, and also giving you tips and updates to help you grow your business in the online space, whether you're an individual or an organization or a company or what have you. All right, so we've talked about what a Facebook story basically is, right? And I want to talk about why you should actually post on your Facebook story, but I've actually said that already. It's the fact that there is a lot more visibility on your Facebook story than there is on your feed. So you would even notice that some persons even post more on Facebook stories than they do on their Facebook feeds, right? It is because the algorithm favors visibility on Facebook stories, all right? But then it is not just any kind of post that would actually get you that visibility. It is not just any kind of post. So you want to be very, very strategic, and the strategy is one we're going to be talking about in today's tutorial. All right, now, what kind of content should you put on your Facebook stories? What kind of content should go into your Facebook stories? You want to be posting content around entertainment, around comedy, around things that helps you relax, and of course you want to post your personal pictures, things that has to do with your personal life, right? Motivational content, images, visuals, videos, and then of course your business and all that. All right, you want to also be sharing tips and strategies, to help, content that basically, portray you as an expert in your field. Those are the kind of content you want to be sharing. So if you're a content creator and you make use of content, you do everyday content, the kind of content that goes out on your, maybe on your Facebook feed every day, but then on your Facebook story you want to be very, very strategic. And the reason is because when you come to Facebook, the kind of stories you actually watch are those that catches your attention at the get-go, right? So if you know how it is that you can actually create as many slides as possible. You can create as many slides as possible on your Facebook story. So you want to when you come on Facebook, those slides you actually watch are those that the very first slide catches your fancy, catches your attention, like something that just catches your attention. Those are the ones you actually watch. All right, so those are the ones you actually click to watch. So, and you know that Facebook they don't show you everything, like they expect you to start to scroll and all that. So the one that actually catches your attention is the one you actually watch. So the very first slide is what we want to concentrate on. That is your strategy. All right, okay, let's say the first three slide are your strategy for getting a lot of views on your Facebook story, and those are the ones we want to be talking about today. All right, so how do you get very attractive visuals to come into your first slide of your Facebook story that in such a way that it catches people's attention? So scrolling through these Facebook stories or coming on Facebook and then looking at this, I may not actually click on this person's story to view it, except I know the person personally. Like maybe the person has been my long-time friend and I'm wondering what have they been up to. But then what if I don't know you and then I just see something captivating on your story? It just draws my attention to want to actually look at it. All right, so that is what we are talking about, how to ensure that the visual on your very first slide is very attractive. Now look at this. Now this person is actually my friend and I always want to keep up with her, but then if she were not my friend, I really would have want to look at this visual because it looks very attractive. In my mind I'm like, oh, what is this about? And then I'll just click on it and look at what happens. And then I would also want to, this curiosity, human beings are very curious, so I would want to click on the other slides to look at what is there. All right, so those are the strategies you want to employ. You want to ensure that your very first slide is very attractive, because when it is attractive, people would also want to scroll through to see what you have on your next slide and the very next one as well. Right, so now, what should you post on your first slide? What should go to your first slide? The first slide of your story should not be about your business. It shouldn't be a post about your business. It shouldn't be a post about it shouldn't be your picture, because, well, people are not really interested in your picture. Trust me, people are not really interested in you. They are interested in themselves and they want to know what is in it for them. All right. So the kind of pictures I use on my first slide are usually very attractive and very controversial pictures. All right, so it could be pictures of popular figures like celebrities, politicians, and and not just pictures actually, but pictures that comes with a maybe a statement, like maybe something written underneath and people are wondering, okay, what is this person up to? Right, controversial figures like Davido, like our almighty president, right? Like or maybe something that has been trending for a while, and just like the recent issue around a popular musician that just died, and a lot of controversies here and there. I'm not saying you should commercialize his death, right? I don't want to mention his name. I'm not saying you should commercialize his death, but you can actually use some other person's pictures related to it. All right, so these are actually things that are trending and people want to know what's up, right? So remember that humans are very curious. So essentially you want to use images, visuals, videos that are very controversial in nature, that would pull people's attention. So in times past, I've made use of all sort of pictures, right? So I'm going to be opening my gallery shortly to show you some kind of images that I've used, something that pulls people's attention. I'll be like, what is this about? I want to know more, right? So those are the kind of things you can actually use, right? And then I'm going to be showing you how to source for this kind of images shortly. But then now some persons are of the opinion that using nude pictures is way to go, but I'm always against it, and I'm always very careful because I don't want anything that would jeopardize my brand name, right? So if you have a brand name to protect, you may not want to use such images, because really, whenever I'm scrolling through, and people use that a lot, right? People use pictures of nude women, nude men, and all of those things, right? So, and whenever I scroll through and I see such images, trust me, I don't click because it irritates me. I'm like, what is this? This is so low. So I tend not to click on it too. And to me, that person's brand name has been soiled in my mind, so I don't want to even associate myself. Some of them I even want to block them. So you want to ensure that you don't use such very obscene images that would annoy people. Trust me, people don't indecency don't appeal to a lot of people, because majority of people feel that indecency sells, right? Well, to some extent it doesn't sell to a lot of people. I in particular, I would ban you, I would block your account if I see such content on your story or anywhere around you. So it doesn't really appeal to me. A lot of people use it both on Facebook stories, WhatsApp statuses. Like some WhatsApp TVs use that a lot because they feel that once they start to post nudity, like people would want to come back to watch and all. But trust me, if you have a brand name to protect, you won't do that. All right, so that is by the ways. There are other ways to do this aside from using nude. All right, so I'm going to be opening my gallery shortly, and I'm going to be showing you some kind of images I've used in recent times, right? That has pulled a lot of visibility through my story, right? So here is my gallery, and I'm going to be showing you one I used of views to okay, so something like this also can get a view. So you can see this is actually an image that it sparks curiosity. They'll be like, okay, wow, looking at this from far. If I post this on my Facebook story, people are actually looking at it from afar, sort of. So they'll be like, what is happening here? Somebody is doing a wedding and they are just two persons. They'll want to click through to see what is really going on. Such images also, I also use such images, like people, because people like stories about other people. So they'll be like, is this girl getting married? Let's see what is going on. Maybe it's her marriage or something. They would want to click through to look at it. So probably I would even use this to be getting a lot of views, right? So I use such, and then I'll use some other ones that I've used recently. All right, so it also got a lot. You also use something like this, think about it. Images that sparks curiosity, that sparks thoughts in somebody's mind. They'll be like, what is this person really up to? So as well, though I've not used it before. Now look at it. I also use this sometimes, and it got a lot of views. Because this is a picture of Tinubu, and when you post something like this text is not very visible from afar, so people would want to read it. What is really happening? They would want to read what this text is really all about, right? So and those are kind of images I use, and I'm going to be showing you some types. This type of image can also get a lot of visibility, right? Let's scroll through to check for other ones that I've used. Okay, no, this was not the one I used, but then there was a time I also used a picture of Hilda Basi and this other guy, and tons of views also. Kind of views that I can't even get. Like, those are the kind of engagement I can't even get on my normal Facebook feed post, right? But then I used this one recently, so you can see it was actually something around this artist's death, and a lot of people, as at this time, like, people were still very interested in this story and all that. So this was not me trying to commercialize, but then there were a lot of controversies around this person and this other person, and people wanted to know what was going on. Then let me check for other ones. This one, I think it was yesterday, so it actually took me a lot before I eventually got to use this video, because I felt it was indecent in some way. I actually wanted to use this before, but I said no, let me not use it, because just somehow like it was doing me somewhere in my mind, so I didn't want to use it. But then I eventually used this one, and it got a lot of, right? So those are pictures I've used in recent times, so you can see on recently, and it got tons of views. You can see now that there is a strategy to this thing. You don't just go to your Facebook story and then you post your picture or you post your business. People will just scroll by, they won't even answer you. to see it at your friends and family, and I'm sure that is not what you want. I'm sure you're looking for people who would be interested in your business. It costs a lot of buzz online. So that's about the kind of images you can actually use on the first slide of your Facebook as well. So you can see these are images that sparks reaction from people, that sparks interest after people get to view that first slide of your story that is so interesting to them. It has to now for a next slide that is equally interesting, right? So usually what I do in my second slide is that I use something that is hilarious, like a comedy, or maybe something funny, like maybe a meme, right? Is it meme or meme, they call it, whatever. So I also use that because it's also something of interest. I'll be like, okay, so if this thing is interesting, that means the next slide will also be interesting. So the next slide also I try to use something of humor also as well, something that sparks humor and sparks reactions. Sometimes it doesn't have to be humor alone, it can also be maybe a human interest story that just sparks some sort of emotions and all. So I also use that as well. Then the fourth slide is where I now post either my picture, like just me, just a picture of me, or something related to myself, right? So I post it, and then the next slide is now where I start to talk about my business. Like I post my business flyer, I talk about my brand, I talk about my services, and already I have garnered a lot of interest. I've garnered a lot of views. Like people have scrolled through the first slide, they've scrolled to the second slide, they've scrolled to the third slide, and then in the fourth slide a lot of them have they've come through to this point, and then they are interested in what I actually have to do. And I ensure that fourth slide where I get to talk about my business, I talk about it well, because a lot of them are going to be going back, like they are going to be going off from there, because trust me, people don't like being sold to. They don't like it when you're talking about your business or yourself, right? Sometimes really that is just human nature for you. So most of them are going to go off from there, but then you just have to ensure that you capture their attention with whatever it is you're going to be. Maybe it could be your offer, like your best offer or something. Like you just give it to them straight off, right? So you give it to them there, and then get them very interested. You tell them to send you a DM or something like that, all right? So that's the strategy to use, right? So by doing this, I've gotten a lot of people either buying my courses or subscribing to my services and all, and it's really helps me a lot. So let's talk about where to actually get this attractive image or visual ideas from. One of the foremost places where I get my visuals from is Instagram search. All right, when you go on Instagram search, you're going to be seeing a lot of images that you can just screenshot, edit, and post on your Facebook stories. All right, so here is my Instagram account. So I'll just come to my search, and then I'll just start to scroll through. All right, so I'll just start to scroll through, and you're going to be seeing a lot of attractive images that you can actually use. So just select anyone, and now look at this image. Look at this image right here. This image actually looks quite attractive. So I'll just screenshot what I do. I'll just screenshot it, and I'll look for other ones that I find maybe more interesting. Now look at this picture of Davido with this lady. Now Davido is a popular figure, and a picture of him with someone else is going to spark a lot of attraction. Remember that there's been a lot of controversy recently, baby mama drama and all that, right? So it's also going to spark a lot of attention. So you want to check that out also, screenshot, and then just edit it. Now you don't want to be posting your pictures with the like when you screenshot it, these other parts are going to be showing. So you want to ensure that you just do your editing before you post, right? So you can also check out other ones. There are a lot of so basically this is how I do my search. So most of the times I use Instagram story to search for celebrity gossip, celebrity pictures, like images like that, right? So you can also make use of Instagram story, right? The another place where it's attractive visuals to use who's Facebook stories, right? So I'm just browsing through, and then I see something that I know that would be attractive, or something that catches my attention also. So let's say I'm scrolling now and I see somebody's hair like this one now, it actually catches my attention. I'll just open it, do it of it, and then edit it and post. Or right, so even something like this also is attractive, right? So it catches my attention, so I might actually want it some other time, so I'll just screenshot it, but I use it actually. So basically you can also get visuals from other people's story. Then another place is also from your Facebook feed, right? So you're through your Facebook feed and you see something interesting that you know that people would be interested in. Look at something like this. This actually looks attractive and people would want to, wonder what is really going on here. And you can just do a screenshot and then post it, right? But then you also want to be careful, because some of these things are also people's personal stories or people's private pictures. So you may not, like, if it is celebrities, right, it is actually understandable, because celebrities that nobody would trace it back to you or something. But then when it is maybe a friend's picture and you're using it, the person might be like, oh, what's going on, did I share this picture with you? So you want to actually be very careful, right? So your Facebook feed is where you can actually also get those kind of visuals to use. Then you can also get those visuals on Facebook, WhatsApp statuses as well. So you're browsing through people's WhatsApp statuses and you come across anything of interest, you can just also use it as well. Actually, many ways, even page. Remember that I want to put Facebook stories for normal Facebook accounts is different from Facebook stories on page. So you know how that these are now like Facebook profile. So if you go to your Facebook page, you can also be able to view stories as well. So most of the times these stories are posted by the bigger brands like celebrities and all that, but you can also make use of, like, maybe you are actively making content on your Facebook page. Say you want to actually monetize your Facebook page, you can also do this, because it's also a good way to get views on your videos, right? So if you haven't watched my video where I talk about how to monetize your Facebook page, you might also want to check that out, so that you can also see how you can turn your Facebook page into a money making machine for yourself, right? Even if you live in a country that eligibility hasn't yet been rolled out. All right, so Facebook pages is also a very good place to get the kind of images as well. So look at this, something like this is also attractive, you might also want to use it, right? So there are also, if you just scroll through, you'd find a lot of these images that are attractive. All right, so that is that about how to get videos, or sorry, I keep saying videos, how to get visuals that you can use for your Facebook stories that would pull a lot of attention and get you the visibility you need for. Remember that this is really all about your service, like this is all about your brand, like this is all about your market and not exactly about that. But then this one is just for fronting, like you're just using it to front and all. Yeah, so that is that. So this is where we're going to be drawing the curtain on this is where we're going to be drawing the curtain on this tutorial. I believe you've gotten massive value, and if you have, kindly give this video a like, so that other people who are interested in getting this kind of knowledge would also get it. Like YouTube would be able to share it with them as well, and you can also help us to share it with your friends and family members whom you believe should find this valuable. All right, so thank you so very much, and I'll see you in subsequent videos. Bye for now.